Hey, what is up everyone, this is Radioactive Raw SG continuing its playthrough of Sonic Advance 3 for the Game Boy Advance. In the last episode, we teamed up with Dr. Eggman as Super Sonic and defeated Perfect Gemerl in the Extra Zone. So, in this episode today, we're going to be looking at the extras for Sonic Advance 3. Y'all have asked for this, and I'm going to deliver it. So, I want to thank y'all so much for all the support for this LP and how well it did. This is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time, and the fact that y'all enjoyed it made me enjoy it a lot more. And it's just been a really fun LP, so in this episode, we're going to be looking at the extras for this game. So why don't we jump right into that? So here we are in the title screen. There's already one little thing to mention right here in the extras. If you press the R button, you can see in the top it says GBA color setting. Press it again, you get the SP color setting. This is to make it a little bit brighter if you're playing on a Game Boy Advance SP. And then finally you have the Game Boy player. This makes the most sense for this LP since you're supposed to be playing this on a television, on a screen, on a Game Boy player. This would make the most sense to play on, I guess, as far as an LP. But I think I like the colors a lot more for the regular GBA color setting like this. So that's just my opinion. If you're playing on an SP or a Game Boy player, it's going to look exactly like this. It's going to look like how it's supposed to, but if you're playing it like this, it's going to look really distorted. So keep that in mind. That's just one little thing to mention right there. And yeah, I wish games like Super Mario World and Super Mario Advance, like all those early Game Boy Advance games that were really washed out and like bright, because they didn't have, like, the Game Boy Advance didn't have like the proper backlighting. Those games had to like make up for it with really bright colors, and it looks really ugly on like SP and Game Boy player. But yeah, it really sucks, because if they had like this kind of setting, it would have been perfect. But that's just my little thing right there. Like, this is easily one of the later Game Boy Advance games, and it did that right. So shout out to Sega for that. Alright, so here we are on the title screen right here. On this little title screen, if you press up R, down L, left and right, yes, this appears. It says Special Stage Mode. You can play on special stages if you have all 7 castle modes. Keep this in mind, you need all 7 castle modes unlocked. You need to get all the Chow and beat the special stages to get this. So you're going to need that if you want to play this mode. And what it is pretty much is just a gauntlet. I guess you're just doing all 7 of the special stages back to back with no breaks, and if you lose you have to start all over. It's good practice if you're like speedrunning or something. I know a lot of the Sonic Advance games kind of do that. I really like that. It's like really good for practicing. I think this is one of the most awesome things. If, like I said, if you're trying to speed run or like beat this game as fast as possible, it's really good for that, I guess. But that's pretty much it. You're just beating these. You're just going in order until you get to the last one. Then it transports you back to the title screen, almost like Blue Sphere or something like that. How you can put in those cheats in the early Sonic games and just do the special stages, and it brings you back to the title screen. Really interesting. I would have liked how in those old demos you can kind of control the character. That would have been cool. But that is pretty much it for this little special stage thing right here. Yeah. Alright, here we are in the options menu for this game. First thing to mention is the music is a bit different from the other games. Sonic Advance 1 had Scrap Brain Zone, and Sonic Advance 2 had its own really upbeat music. And those two kind of feel really similar, but this one's really chill and laid back. I really can't put my finger on what it reminds me of. I guess maybe Sonic Battle, but it reminds me a lot of something regarding Sonic. I'm not really sure what. But yeah, you can change your name, all that good stuff right here. You can look at your records. For whatever reason, you can do that right here, or you can do it in time attack mode. Versus if you have friends you play this game with, which I actually had a few friends, and yeah, but yeah. You can set this game to easy or normal if you want less hits on the bosses and less enemies overall. I don't personally recommend this because it takes away from what the creators wanted, and it's just not as fun. Like, going through easy is like way too easy for me, at least. Alright, next thing is time limit. I always leave this on just because of the classic feel. You always want this, like, for the 10-minute rule in Sonic games. Set your thing. Originally, the first Sonic game ever, like Sonic Advance game, was English and Japanese. But now there's other options, and that's pretty awesome. And finally, you have your button config. I usually leave this exactly how it's set. And last but not least, we have the sound test. Now, my only problem with this, like the most of Sonic Advance 3, is how different it is in its approach. As far as, like, Sonic Advance 1 and 2 had like a lot of similarities. This one feels completely different in a lot of ways, and this is another reason. You don't have like a little character like playing an instrument or something. You just have a little child chilling right here. But you can listen to any of the music in this game, and I do like this little setup they have. How you move across in it. You can kind of see the stage name or like the music you're playing. Yeah. I think Advance 2 had like a scrolling text, and that was kind of annoying to look at, like to try and see what you're listening to, because it didn't like start over every time you played it. It just kind of went. I guess it just kind of kept on going, really. Alright, but that's pretty much that. You can delete your save data. Why would you do that once you get all the chow, right? Next thing to mention is time attack. So you can pretty much just choose whatever characters, blah blah blah. Yeah, you just have like all the stages if you want to go through a specific one. If you do this, yeah. So you just go through the stages, time attack, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. You know how time attack works. Alright, next thing is boss attack. You do need all 7 character modes to unlock boss mode. Just like in Advance 2, they kind of force that on it, how you need this 7 character modes. But there is a catch to it. If you do get all gold, if you get all gold rings as far as like beating the stages, like as far as your times, then you can unlock boss mode that way instead. It's a lot easier in my opinion. You just need to like really rush, and that's the way I think I originally did it for this game. I just kind of rushed and beat it that way. And yeah, that is pretty much it as far as like the little things right there. There is like multiplayer mode you can play with friends on, and you have the multiplayer thing. This is the only way I've gotten to play this game as far as multiplayer, and it's really fun. You're just playing with like someone. They have to have the game, and it's a lot of fun. But we do have a couple more things to mention. I am going to pretty much talk about one more little thing right here. Let's go into a stage, because once you get all the calcium modes, you are gonna need. Once you get all the child found in an area, you're gonna have to find keys to get to the special stage. And pretty much for the most part, the keys are really easy to find. Yeah, look, like this. You're just picking them up, but you do need to finish the stage. And the more you do that, you pick up those keys, you beat the stage, you get to keep the key, and go through the special stage. I do like that. It is kind of annoying that if you miss the special stage, you have to do a stage over to get it. But I think it's pretty fair, right? I think it gives the game replayability. But that is pretty much that. Alright, so we are in the little factory room. I forget what this thing is called. But if you come into this little room right here, I don't think I've even mentioned this room and this LP. But as you can see, once you get all the child for an area, they all appear here. And if you get the castle mode, it stays right here. So that's pretty awesome. Press select, you can kind of see exactly where you need to look for a specific child. It's kind of hard to tell because they're all kind of moving around, but you can kind of see like 1s and 2s and whatever else behind them. It kind of tells you where you need to look for the child, and that makes it a little bit easier, but it's really annoying. But yeah, and some stages all the way to the far right, they're like that yellow color and it says M. It means that they're on the map, so keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I do like this little touch that they have for the castle mode just floating there, and it's kind of moving. Originally, the castle modes didn't have like an animation, you just kind of got them, and that was that. But I do like that they gave it an animation now, and that's pretty awesome. So that's pretty much that. One last little thing I guess I want to mention is, it's a little weird thing, but if you jump into a stage and then press down, you can cancel out of it. You press it again, or you press up, it'll make you go to the next area quicker. Like, if you're speedrunning this game, it's a lot quicker than just sitting there waiting for it to load or whatever. Alright, but finally, we have one last little thing we need to look over, and that is the last of the character combinations. Now, we pretty much got about 80% of those out of the way, so let's look at the final ones. Alright, so what we have left, we've pretty much shown all of the male characters and all their abilities and whatnot. Like, we showed all the way up until Knuckles and Cream, I think. So what we have left pretty much is between Cream and Amy. That's pretty much the last few. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's do Cream and Amy first. We're gonna do it like that. Team Jubilee, yeah. So that's a nice little reference right there. Alright, so let's look at these characters right quick. If you have Amy as your partner, as always, you get a hammer. Yeah, Cream has this little animation where she hits her hammer like that. Looks like, I like this little touch because it makes it look like she has to reach all the way back to throw a hammer. Like, she's a little kid and she has to like, yeah. I don't know, it's just a little weird thing to me, but like other characters just kind of casually like do their hammer and she has to like kind of give more force for it because she's a little kid. And I think that's a pretty cool little touch right there. That's pretty much, I think, the only difference besides her jump. If you just jump with like with Amy as your partner, you jump straight up and not in a spin dash or a spin jump. If you do jump and press the B button, you do have this little move where you can kind of use it in place of the spin jump and whatnot. So you can kind of land on enemies and use it like you would if you're in a ball. And yeah, that is pretty much that. Alright, so we're back with Cream and Knuckles as our partner. First thing you'll notice is that Cream, or Cheese, actually stays like this, like it pretty much circles you around, like so that you don't get attacked, and it moves pretty fast. So this is really effective. Like if something comes at you, you can use it to block off attacks. But it's more or less, if anything, one of the most broken things, like fighting bosses. Like you can literally just touch Eggman, you can get near Eggman and he takes like a bunch of hits back to back. It's really cool. Let's see if we can actually use this move and kind of give you an idea if we can find an enemy. But I think this is one of the most broken things in this game. Just like Cream in Advance 1 or Advance 2, it was really broken. Let's see if we can actually touch it. There we go. Yeah, see how broken that is? That's really crazy. Then you can still use it like you would normally. If you find an enemy and you're too far away, you can just kind of press the B button and Cream will attack at will like that. So that's just a little thing right there to note. I think that's pretty much the only other thing. Cream is pretty much the exact same, and we died. Alright, but yeah. Alright, so we're back. We have Cream as our partner now. We are Amy Rose. So pretty much, it's weird enough. I feel like this was a little lazy, but Amy is almost the exact same character as when Tails is her partner. I know it's a flight thing. In the corner it says flight, but she's almost the same exact character and whatnot. Yeah, she even has like this little move where she just like does that, and you can kind of use it to slide into enemies and whatnot. She's almost the same exact character, and it's really weird that they decide to do that. Obviously, if Cream is your partner at all times, you can use the Chow as your personal attacker, like kind of how Cream does in her own games. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And yeah, I don't think you can even do like a... You don't even get like a jump and attack move, like jumping. Oh yeah, you do. Okay, there it is. Okay, so that's pretty much that, and that is all the character combinations that we didn't get to really go over. So yeah. Alright, so we're back once again as Amy and Cream being our partner. So one thing I want to mention before we end off these character combination things is that if Cream and Amy are partners, then they get to do tricks. Only with this combination, you can do tricks. So keep that in mind. Now, the reason that it's really stupid, in my opinion, is because Sonic and Tails have to be partners to do their tricks. Cream and Amy have to be partners to do their tricks. But then Knuckles doesn't get to do any tricks, like with any partners. It's really weird that Knuckles does not get any kind of trick attacks. Really interesting that they decide to go for that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the tricks for Amy. Alright, we're finally back one more time with Cream as our main character and Amy being our partner. So I just want to show off Cream's little trick attacks here that she has when she has Amy as her partner. So little references right there. She has almost the same exact animations for everything, so keep that in mind. It's nothing really that special, and that is all of the character combinations for this game. Alright, so I want to thank y'all so much for all the support for this LP. It's been so much fun. I've had a blast doing this game, and I did not really expect for this game to do as well as it did, because I did this game really on the fly. It's been really fun, and I'm glad that people actually really enjoyed this game as much as I did. Recording it and having fun with this. It's just been really fun. And yeah, I want to ask one more question before we end off this LP. What is your favorite Sonic Advance game? I might have asked this question before, but I would like to know because I've gotten a lot of new subscribers in like the last few months and stuff. So I would like to know, like, what's your favorite Sonic Advance game, and give me like a small reason why. Why is that your favorite Sonic Advance game? And that is pretty much all that I have to ask. Like I said, thank y'all so much for all the support. Make sure to check out Mario and Sonic at the 2014 Sochi Olympic Games, as I'm doing that LP currently right now. And that should be ending really soon. So if y'all have like any ideas of what you'd like to see next as far as the Sonic LP, leave it down in the comments. And that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. And until then, peace out. Y'all have a good night.